Before the release of Cobra Kai, we already had an amazing karate show. It's called Kickin'It and aired on Disney XD, so it's technically not a Disney Channel show. There is a common joke about how Jack can beat everyone from Cobra Kai. This is probably true due to the fact that Jack can somehow fight with his eyes closed, but no one in Cobra Kai can do that. From the start, you could already tell that Kickin'It was going to be iconic. It had such a strong cast, and the comedic dialogue mixed with their timing was very good, especially for a Disney XD show. This helped Kickin'It go from just being a kids' TV show to solidifying its place. This series didn't really have a bunch of legacy going on, like how in Cobra Kai, Daniel LaRusso is continuing Mr. Miyagi's legacy and his teachings. The furthest Kickin'It went with legacy was the Wasabi Code. The students lived by this code, and it would even work as inspiration for them during a match and in regular life. But even though there wasn't much legacy, there was still great lore going on. Jack's grandfather trained Bobbi Wasabi for all his movies, so in a way, Jack was already connected to the dojo before he joined. Something that never really made sense was Bobbi Wasabi taking full ownership of the dojo from Rudy. He owned the entire chain of dojos that have his name, but that's not a good enough reason for him to completely take over. In one episode, Bobbi gave the dojo a robot sensei, so this could be why Rudy let him take over since Bobbi can give the dojo gear and perks that Rudy can't afford. It's just funny we don't really hear about the other dojos in the chain except for one time. A show is great when even the side characters are loved and memorable. Falafel Phil, Jones the mall security guard, and even Ty who leads the Black Dragon's dojo. All three are great, and when the plot includes them, their scenes are actually watchable, unlike in other shows where you don't even pay attention to the side characters. Ty from the Black Dragons is so funny whenever he's on screen that you forget he's not part of the main cast. The same goes for Joan and Falafel Phil. They also get a good amount of background story, so you actually know stuff about them. They're not just reoccurring characters who you hardly know anything about. So if the side characters are great, then you already know the main cast is amazing. Jason Earls, who plays Rudy, leads the show and is a perfect leader. When Kickin'It was getting promoted, you could already tell it would be great because of Jason Earls' previous performance on Hannah Montana. Many people actually say Rudy is just an older version of Jackson from Hannah Montana. Leo Howard, who plays Jack, is the other leader of the show, and it's crazy that he's able to keep up with Rudy. Obviously, Jason Earls is the more experienced actor, but Leo does great playing Jack. Kim, who is played by Olivia Holt, would probably be considered the third main character, and she is also able to keep up. She's the only female in the dojo, but she's such a great character that there's no need for more girls in the dojo. Milton, Jerry, and Eddie are the rest of the main cast, and even though Jerry isn't considered the main attraction, he definitely was funnier than Jack, and is the second funniest character from the entire show. Rudy is the top funniest from the show, and he's the only reason Jerry is second funniest. I love Jerry, but Rudy is still 10 times funnier than him. The first heartbreak this show gave us was Eddie disappearing and no one ever speaking about it. No one from the dojo ever spoke about Eddie, and it was almost like they forgot he even existed. Eddie was the only person of color in the main cast, but he was also better than Milton, so it sucked when Eddie left the show. When Eddie left, you can tell the writers worked harder on Milton because he got better as a character. Every season from Kickin'It includes great episodes, and they're memorable the same way iCarly, and Victorious episodes are still remembered to this day. Nearly every episode from this show has a high rating. The lowest rating you will find is 7 out of 10, and even that is a pretty high rating. Every iconic show has amazing seasonal episodes, and Kickin'It has that too. Their Halloween episode is great, and not just because of the plot, but because it's the first time we see Jack have a weakness. The best shows are the ones willing to have the main character actually have a weakness, and not just be Superman the entire time. Their Christmas episode is also great, and they managed to teach a lesson with the plot. This show at one point even turned Jack and Milton into spies, and had a couple episodes based on this, but these spy episodes were also great. They weren't corny or annoying, which is a hard thing to do with such a cliché idea like spies. A lot of people hate Season 4 for a few reasons, and the reasons they give is that Kim isn't in the show anymore, or that it's a new dojo in Season 4, so the magic isn't there anymore. I don't agree with people saying the magic disappeared in Season 4. Yeah, Kim was gone, and that sucked, but the show stayed great. Rudy and Jack were still strong, Jerry stayed hilarious, and if anything got even funnier. Milton was at his best in Season 4, but Joan and Phil were also at their best in this season. The plots remained great, and there's still memorable episodes in this season. Maybe they should have fully replaced Kim with a new girl, and at one point they kind of tried to do this, but you could tell the writers were afraid to go all the way. Now, the million-dollar question is that if Kickin'It was better than Cobra Kai. Unfortunately, the answer is no, but that's why the title of this video is The Best Karate Show Before Cobra Kai. It's not even about Cobra Kai having more lore, because I don't think that's a fair measurement, since Cobra Kai is based on an entire movie series, and Kickin'It was an original idea for a Disney XD show. But if we compare their casts, then Cobra Kai blows the cast from Kickin'It out of the water. As much as I love the Bobbi Wasabi dojo and every side character that comes with it, I happen to love the Cobra Kai characters even more. And I'm not just talking about Johnny or Daniel. I'm talking about Miguel, Eli, Samantha, Dimitri, Tori, Stingray, Robbie, Yasmin, and Moon. I can go on naming the various great characters that aren't from the original movie series because there's so many, but you guys get the point. Both shows also had amazing guest stars. Cobra Kai has a good share of great guest appearances, but Kickin'It has the more unique appearances. Kickin'It had Denise Richards, Joey Díaz, the Harlem Globetrotters, Kyrie Irving, and Kofi Kingston. The ones that were most surprising for Kickin'It was Denise Richards and Joey Díaz. They're both great actors, but the way they are off the screen made it surprising to see them on a Disney show. Even though Cobra Kai is the better show, they both have great rewatch value, and both are amazing comfort shows. You can watch Cobra Kai for comfort, or just as background noise, but you can also do that with Kickin'It.